Rawr.
I'm angry about cats.
When did we all get this dumb? Almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear warfare. I don't see any bodies, so it doesn't count.
I'm angry about cats.
I'm the chef. I want to hear one thing. Yes, chef.
Come on, man. Use your brain.
The Why I'm Angry podcast starts now.
All right. This is the Why I'm Angry podcast. And I think there's a Jboots. Jboots? Are you there? Oh, I left Jboots in the green room. Haha, that's funny. So this is the Why I'm Angry podcast. This is the chef, and I'm here in the Freestyle Man Cave studio. I'm going to bring Jboots out of the green room here in just a second, and get him on here. Jboots, are you there?
Howdy, y'all. How are y'all doing?
Oh, I left you in the green room, so your intro was lacking there.
That's all right. I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, Jboots.
Thanks for having me on your wonderful show.
Man, you were broken. Anyhow, so we're going to get right into this. We're going to do a new setup that we're going to start doing from now on until the future, and which could be next week or it could just end tonight. But we're going to go through some of the headlines, and then we will take about 5 minutes to hit the headlines of the week or so, or even today, and then we're going to go over what we really want to talk about. So, headlines, and I'll get some good music for next time, but let's see. I got the Stars and Stripes Forever. There we go. It's time for headlines. All right. In the first few headlines here, I got Trump civil verdict. A federal jury in civil trial yesterday found former President Donald Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation of journalist E. Jean Carroll, ordering Trump to pay $5 million in damages. As you go down through it, they released him of the rape charges, but basically just said that maybe he forcibly or just sexually abused her. So we've got Imran Khan arrested. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan was arrested on corruption charges yesterday, intensifying political tensions ahead of the October election. He was taken into custody by parliamentary group or paramilitary group upon arriving at a court hearing in Islamabad, where he faced separate corruption charges. Dude's in corruption issues. In sports and entertainment and culture, Dolly Parton is to release her first rock album on November 17th, just proving that you're never too old to rock. The recording will feature collaborations with Paul McCartney, Elton John, and Lizzo. Grace Bumbry, pioneer black opera singer, died at 86. Paramount is cutting 25% of domestic staff. MTV News to shut down after 36 years. Didn't realize it was still going. Fox News parent company reports a $50 million quarterly loss following a settlement with Dominion Voting Systems. Buddy Holly, a petite Basset Griffin Vendine dog breed, wins Best in Show at the 2023 Westminster Dog Show. Denny Crum, Hall of Fame men's basketball coach who won 2 national titles with Louisville, died at 86. 86 is a bad year for anyone, so if you're 86 on the bingo card, keep on breathing, keep your heart beating. Hopefully you'll make it through to 87. Science and technology. Fast food chain Wendy's partners with Google to pilot an AI-powered chatbot to run its drive-through services. Feature will debut at the Columbus, Ohio area restaurants next week. That's where their headquarters is. IBM unveils Watson X or Watson 10. I'm not sure. It depends on if they run the Apple setup. With a host of generative AI services. Gilead Science did not infringe on intellectual property rights of the federal government in developing an HIV preventative drug. Jury finds analysis says case has implications for private use of taxpayer-funded research results. Into business, the U.S. stock market closes lower ahead of today's consumer inflation reading. That was yesterday's closing, down about a half a point on the S&P 500, 0.2 on the Dow, and 0.6 on the NASDAQ. Saudi Aramco, Saudi Arabia's state-controlled oil giant, reports quarterly profits of $32 billion, down 20% over last year's amid lower energy prices. It's all those danged electric cars we're buying. Rivian reports lower than expected quarterly losses. Electric vehicle makers state it is on track to produce 50,000 cars in 2023. Probably should have looked at that ahead of time, huh? Guess it's not all them dang. Guess it's not all them danged electric cars making you lose down 20%. Airbnb shares fall of 9% in after-hours trading as the company beats expectations, but signals weaker guidance. Company also announces the $2.5 billion stock buyback program. Into politics, Joe Biden meets with Big Four Congress lawmakers ahead of end-of-month debt ceiling deadline. The group includes Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, and Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries from New York's 8th District. No deal struck during the meeting, and we can hear more about that later. Russian President Vladimir Putin leads scaled-back Victory Day celebration, marking the anniversary of the end of World War II along the Eastern Front against Nazi Germany. And in final headlines here, Republican George Santos reportedly to face charges possibly linked to campaign violations. Former host Tucker Carlson accuses Fox of fraud. Said he would launch a show on Twitter, and Senator Dianne Feinstein to return to the Senate after 2 months' absence due to health issues. All right. So on the George Santos, just to update, I did see this is a morning kind of headlines report type thing, comes out around noon or so, and the George Santos thing. He was indicted on 13 counts. I think it was 13 or 16 counts. And they wanted to, he's got like a $500,000 bail.
Oh, wow.
And like he's going to run or something. Like he's a senator. It's kind of like the president. You kind of know where he's going to be most of the time. He's got a Secret Service type, security detail, and it's like he already gave his passport up, like what what kind of, where's he gonna go, so the other thing that got me is he's been in office for 3-5 months now. And already they're bringing charges on him. somebody that is in office, that's been in office since the early 60s, has all kinds of corruption charges, and they haven't brought any charges or subpoenas or arraignments on him or any of his family. But there's a D in front of one, an R in front of the other one, and
That makes the difference.
I think that might be the difference here. So.
Yep.
So of all of those, anything that stood out, keys your interest, wets your whistle, sees your fancy?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that Russia was a part of World War II.
Yes, they it was kind of a world war. Pretty much the world was involved. So they celebrate the victory that they were part of, as a communist country fighting for
Freedom-ish stuff. Yeah.
for against Western freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Russian.
Weren't the Russians supposed to be inventing like something like cold fusion or something?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've invented cold fusion and warm fusion, Asian fusion probably. Yeah. I'm real excited that they invented that. That's one of my favorite.
It's really
fusions.
good eating. Yeah.
That's great. So, oh, so this Wendy's fast food chain thing, we've got to hit on that. I mean, that seems right up our alley. So Wendy's drive-through orders may be taken by a chatbot as soon as next month.
At the drive-up speaker.
Yes, at the drive-up speaker that already can't understand you.
Correct.
This is going to be like my father-in-law trying to figure out where he's going in his Chevy Suburban. I mean, I've got videos that are 10, 20 minutes long of him going Taco Bell, Dayton, Ohio, or wherever. Like, one was him saying he wanted to go to Knoxville, Tennessee, and it kept going T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can only imagine you're like, I've got 2 orders, and it's going to be like 2 Big Macs or 2
Did
two
you
Biggie
say
bags?
Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Did you order a Dave's special? Yeah.
That's funny. I can't wait. Because then what they're going to do is you're going to have the Wendy's app on your phone, and you're going to be able to talk to the AI on your Wendy's app on your phone and order it as you're pulling up to the Wendy's.
Well, I mean, I already do that with McDonald's, but I don't chat to it.
Right.
I have to hit the button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how much easier would the voice to text be?
I don't know. I already have an issue with Google's like voice texting, not getting half of my words right, and I enunciate, I think, fairly well. I mean, I know you do a lot of the editing, but I feel like I at least enunciate fairly well.
Yeah.
I am definitely not slurring, and I'm not a Southern Louisianan, a Cajun or anything.
You don't do crystal meth, so
right. That does help with the not slurring things.
With the not, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, they're pretty much announcing that they're going to start working it out in Columbus at the one of the franchise headquarters stores. So
I'm excited. I want to try it.
I mean, it could be great. Could be awesome. We should be there for first. We should go for first day. We should make a podcast out of it.
Yeah, I want to dress. I want to dress up in costume where they can't identify me, and change my voice.
Or are they going to? What? Like I'm not sure the AI is going to be like face recognition AI or anything. I think it's more of a just trying to like take your order. What I want to know is if you order one of them daggone single sandwiches, if they're going to understand that.
Right.
Or if you order a Whopper, what they're going to say. Because is it going to annoy the chat box or the chat bot just as much as it annoys us when, like I worked at Wendy's. So, like, you would get people who literally would come through ordering, like, 2 McChicken nuggets and a Big Mac, a Whopper with cheese, which I always told people, I'm like, if you get one, get me one too, because the Whopper back then was delicious.
It was so good.
The new Whopper, I mean, you could throw it at your woman and assault her.
I think we talked about that.
As we've seen in Florida.
Oh, they're special down there.
I mean, it takes something, but I mean, if a Florida man can do it, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm giving you that confidence.
So is Burger King going to try to be a competitor to this whole like McDonald's, Wendy's thing, or like what's up with Burger King? Because I heard they're going under.
Yeah, no, they're shutting down 300 stores, I think.
Because they refuse to keep up.
Because you can have it your way, which is just the proof that if you make it your way, it's going to go under. I mean, I kind of feel like there's something else that we're trying to do our way. Maybe gender fluidity. Maybe that's not the same thing, but it seems real similar. And
is that something you put on a chicken sandwich?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same type of deal, right? They have the same slogan: "Have it your way."
Have it your way.
Have it your way.
Do without will.
Yep. Pickles. You can have pickles.
You can have pickles. There better be gender fluid pickles.
Well, you know what pickles are. Pickles be pickles.
They be pickled.
Pickles be pickling. Oh, yeah. So, interesting. I guess we'll get to the serious stuff here. The Trump civil verdict. I mean, it's a civil verdict. I mean, in New York, how, like, if I don't even know how he gets a good trial. It's the midnight. She testified that it happened sometime in the mid-90s.
Yeah, is there not a status quo?
Well, New York has suspended the statute of limitations because of this whole Me Too movement. COVID obviously got in the way of being able to adjudicate certain laws from the 90s and, things of that nature. But yeah, I mean, she seemed really believable when she said, I can't remember what day, month, heck, I can't even remember what year it was. I mean, right. it like, I could see if she said, man, it was the 70s. We were trying some funny things. We were smoking funny things.
Right.
We were out until the sun came. That kind of thing. But it's the 90s. By that time, you knew you were smoking cocaine or smoking crack or snorting cocaine. And, you pretty much knew what day it was. I mean,
Yeah.
it might have been you knew what week it was, or you may not have known what week it was, but you came to in a certain week, and you remembered then. But it's just one of those. We seem really credible when we can only remember that it was the mid '90s. I mean, I'm not trying to say it didn't happen, but I'm also saying
The responsibility went up.
yeah, your responsibility may have been to say something, within the decade. And then, you can kind of track down people who are still alive. I mean, witnesses and stuff.
We're still doing it with the Nazis, so
like credible people, right? Like credible,
Right.
like witnessy, style people that actually can say, I was around in that Bergendorf's and I saw Trump and, Carol together and things of that nature. The problem is that they showed Trump a picture of this E.J. Carroll, Eugene Carroll, and some other people and him, and asked, told him, who is this? And he said, oh, that's my ex-wife and, this other person. And it was not his ex-wife. It was E. Jean Carroll. And his defense was, I couldn't have done this because I didn't fancy her. She's not my type. He also then insulted the lawyer for E. Jean Carroll by saying that she wasn't his type either. And he also said he hoped that was not offensive. So it's kind of like that thing that no offense, but I'm going to offend you type thing.
yeah.
So that was an interesting turn of events in the whole trial. At least it was.
So Trump didn't write any mean tweets about it or anything?
No, yeah, I mean that was his mean tweets. Is that I hope you're not offended, but none of you are my type.
Gotcha.
I like pretty Russian model-less types.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he has a type. Huh. Interesting.
Unfortunately, before that, he liked pretty young American types. So, there's that. But again, it as if it happened, then $5 million is probably not really enough for an abuse trial. Yeah,
Right.
I mean that just seems like we slapped a guy on the wrist and we let him go. But if it did happen, or if it didn't happen, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see any videos. I didn't hear any witness testimony, and I guess we give them the benefit of the doubt in New York. New York's finest jury found that he most likely was not. It was not a rape, but likely it was more of a sexual abuse or something from some time in the 1990s. So,
right.
I mean, just the threshold for proving civil claims is is a ton lower, luckily, than criminal cases. So it's just it's just a civil lawsuit. Basically, they're going to try to sue him until he has no money to run for president. I think that's the new Democratic
right.
Election try. That's their new goals and what they're going to do. I mean, other than running the incredible robotic man,
right?
That can't walk upstairs. So,
Mr. Joe Biden,
just the Joe, nothing but the Joe. So
gotta love him.
I mean, I guess, we can go into this Imran Khan, former Pakistani prime minister. Who would have thought that when we got out of Pakistan that they would bring up the former prime minister on charges? I mean, who really thought about that? No kidding. Former cricket star was elected in 2018, faced criticism over corruption in Pakistan. What? So he had no confidence vote against him. Khan opposed the vote. He dissolved the parliament, which seems like a really good move if parliament is voting no confidence against you. And then he accused his opponents of politically motivated plot. So he suggested that the U.S. was involved, which means we're definitely helping him out. Skeevy Joe's going to send him definitely at least $1 billion to get him out of jail, or at least Johnny Cochran.
We have to do our part.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. the Wookiee defense. This is a Wookiee. Wookiees come from the planet Kashyyyk. Why is a Wookiee here? I don't know. If this makes no sense, you must acquit. Oh, you got to go back in the archives for the South Park of that one.
I was going to say, that's some old school South Park.
That is some old school South Park. That is before me and Jboots knew each other. Old school South Park.
Yeah. That's like 02?
Yep. 02, maybe even late 01 South Park.
Yeah.
So. Yep. So, let's go. Paramount is cutting 25% of its staff. MTV News is one of those cuts, which I didn't realize MTV News really still existed. Have you seen MTV News lately?
No, I have not at all.
No, I haven't either. But I guess it's still been going. Yeah, it's been part of the. Yeah. I guess it's going to merge 9 separate teams into one group. Yeah. I guess the MTV group is getting most of the axes. This kind of comes in combination with the whole Yellowstone. Kevin Costner said he wasn't coming back to Yellowstone next year. So.
Yeah, that was a decent show.
Yeah. It's had some spin-offs and everything, so it's made some money. So I don't know what they'll do without Kevin Costner. Will they keep the show going? I haven't seen any of the. Have you seen any of the things saying whether they're going to keep it going after next year?
I haven't seen any updates on that Yellowstone show, but they are talking about keeping 1883 up and going and the 1913 one.
Okay. Well,
all the Duttons.
Yeah.
But Costner was always a little bit of a weird one anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, he always seemed weird when he was it didn't seem really authentic when he was saying the F word all the time.
Right.
That kind of threw me off, and he always seemed like he cringed a little when he said it. It felt like, at least the few times I saw him say it. I'm not a big watcher of the show, so it's one of those deals where it's like my comments on it really mean nothing. Yeah.
I mean, you're always going to have your diehard fan base, but I guess we're barking up the wrong tree here because that's not me.
No, it's not me either. But I just happened to see it was on that they were saying that they were keeping some of their bigger shows that they were coming out with on Paramount, and then but the MTV side and things like that, some of the cable sides were starting to slide. So, did you see former Fox host Tucker Carlson accused Fox of fraud, and then launched a Twitter show? Said that he can't really be on TV because his contract is basically still in force. Basically, he's still under contract with Fox News, and so he can't really go on to another show unless they either pay royalties to Fox News or he breaches his contract and stuff like that. Which he's already being paid like $150 million for his contract, so probably don't want to pay that back.
Right. Yeah, I bet he likes money.
Yeah, I mean that's normally the reason that you have a show and stuff. So, but he decided that Twitter was one of the freest platforms out there. And that he was basically going to launch his show in a former fashion on Twitter. Yeah,
I didn't realize they had the bandwidth to do that.
I don't know. I guess I don't know the
Twitter has
the live streaming format, or maybe just posting on it or something like that, or he may just be posting even if he just posts I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be like a 5-minute show or something.
Might be.
Or, 15 minutes a day or something. I mean, he's already making $150 million for the next year and a half or two. So,
I don't know a lot of Twitter people, so it's not another. That's another one of the areas I don't know about.
I mean, we have a small Twitter following, but shout out to follow, like, and share our Twitter page at Why I'm Angry Pod C2. I don't know why it's Pod C2, but I've had troubles changing it, so it's Why I'm Angry Pod C2.
Pod C2. Copy that.
Pod C2. Yep. I mean, it's good to see that Dianne Feinstein is returning to the Senate after 2 months' absence. Especially seeing we didn't even realize she was gone.
Correct. I didn't know she left.
I mean, voting-wise, I think she did about the same as what she would have done if she was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see yesterday the king was coronated?
Yeah, on Saturday, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Saturday? Was it Saturday? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all right. It was Saturday. Yeah, he was coronated.
And
he got the crown thing he put on his head, and
the spin-offs, the memes were fantastic.
Oh yeah, that probably would have been more exciting than just listening to the talking heads talk about him being crowned.
Oh yeah, I totally didn't watch the actual coronation because it's just a pagan ritual.
Yeah.
But the spin-offs of it all was fantastic. So the mockeries and the TikToks and all that, making fun of it, it was fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds way more fun. I didn't watch it either, and I actually watched the Kentucky Derby.
As you should.
Yeah, did you see the Kentucky Derby?
I did.
Yeah. Because, we actually were in the same room together during the Kentucky Derby.
I did. I did a little pre-napping before we started the viewing of the Kentucky Derby, but I still had high hopes for Two Phils.
Yeah, Two Phils. We were rooting heavily for Two Phils. Two Phils made the second place shot, which we had not voted, not bet on. We had bet.
I just thought he was going to go all the way.
straight to win. He
Yep.
could have gotten second or third had he ran with the right 3 horses, which he did not. So we, we didn't win any money. So
$0.
$0. We lost them all. So, and I didn't get any money back on the $20 free bets if you lose type thing, because I didn't hit the right button, I guess. So,
Oh no.
I guess I'm not a professional bettor, and I don't know the professional buttons to push. So I professionally lost, or amateurly lost, all of my money. Not all of
Yeah,
my money,
I can
but all
I can
of,
honestly say I've never dabbled in the FanDuel and the DraftKings and all the betting.
I kind of got sucked in back in the day when I first got old enough to bet. I kind of bet on a couple horses, but honestly, in the betting on horses and stuff, I like it because I can literally bet on a whole day's worth of horses and spend maybe $20-$25.
Right.
I can sit there and we can bet a whole card and just go down through, and I can spend $20-$25 and have a great time rooting for horses, win a couple bucks here and there, lose them later, and just, keep on trucking.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I think it's the time in the show where we open up the can of Florida Man.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah. All right. In Florida Man, we're going to start with May 3rd. May 3rd, a Florida man who ditched manslaughter trial during a lunch break, now in custody. Why did they give... I'm like... Is this New York where they're just let you off for murdering people for, good behavior? Like, oh, he hasn't killed anyone lately. He just stabbed a man with a shank. Oh, but he didn't kill him, so let's let him go early. He's been on good behavior. He literally just started a riot in the yard. But he didn't kill anyone else. So maybe he won't go out killing more people. I mean, is this what this is? This is we let him out for from Subway. Dude, it's a $5 foot. I don't even think they got the $5 foot long anymore because they messed up their menu, and you just, you now have that whatever the Subway series menu is now.
Is the chicken teriyaki that good? I mean,
no,
it's not.
The only thing I ever get is the Subway melt. I get it toasted with regular cheese on it, American cheese, ham, bacon, and some turkey.
Right.
Mayonnaise. You got to get some mayonnaise and lettuce, some black olives, a little bit of that Chipotle ranch style sauce on it. That's it. It's just, it's not great, but it's a good sandwich.
It's a good sandwich, yeah.
So
nothing to write home about.
I mean, did they pick him up at Subway? I mean, what happened? I mean, did he just take a long lunch? I mean, what's funny is the guy's name is Waldo, and so task force developed information on Waldo's whereabouts. An agent spotted him in Mount Dora area this morning. Waldo was taken into custody wearing a white and red striped shirt and hat with jeans and a pair of round specs in the parking lot of Mount Dora Hotel. He was surrounded by other Waldo-looking characters. No, I'm just joking. Waldo is accused of leaving his March 2023 trial, where he was facing 3 counts of DUI manslaughter.
Oh, wow.
In 2019, Waldo's pickup collided. So he, still 4 years, collided with another vehicle at an intersection in Leesburg on Christmas Eve, 2019, killing Christopher Smith, his wife, Jessica Smith, and their 13-year-old. Waldo was a male passenger and a male passenger were hurt during the crash and taken to the hospital. So, like, this dude, like, literally, like, DUI manslaughtered a guy, through a guy and his family. I don't know if that's the technical term for it, but it's taken how many years now? 4 years to bring him up on charges. Dude's been in office for 4 months, maybe 5 months total. And they got him up on charges of election fraud and things that do not pertain to killing people in like 4 months. Is there not an issue with our judicial system that maybe it's just me, but it seems like there's something wrong with this?
Yeah, I think that's largely why the country's in the shape it's in, is because there's such a lack of caring.
I hate to poo-poo on Florida when everybody is like, oh, Florida's the greatest place on earth. There's Mickey Mouse, and Mickey Mouse just got punched in the face by DeSantis, and DeSantis is running things like a boss, and it's all Republicans and stuff. But it does seem like this is a fairly serious charge. I mean, they sent U.S. Marshals out after him.
Right.
So that seems like there's something going on. And it's taken 4 years for them just to even bring him. I'm like, okay, did it really take 4 years of investigation to like bring him on these charges? Dude was in an accident with his wife, and a 13-year-old. Dude was drunk. These guys were not. They're all dead. Time to take him to jail. I mean, pretty much at least bring him to trial. He hasn't even had a trial yet. He's just been arraigned. He just left.
Right.
He left and ran away on his lunch break. Which, I mean, if you've had 4 years to think about it, you probably had 4 years to think about, I could probably get away on my lunch break.
It's kind of like the whole, like, the first 48. So, like, when detectives are investigating a murder, they say
Right.
that they have the first 48 hours to catch a lead and catch a big break in the case. Otherwise, it goes like cold case, like super fast.
Luckily, in this
I'm
one,
like, are you guys trying to catch murderers or what?
This guy was damaged already. He had to go to the hospital, so they didn't have to track down any leads. Like, let's get this.
Are we trying to be, executive officers of the law, or?
I mean, did we spread this out because it was in the Easy W? I mean, what's the deal here? Yeah, we got time. The statute of limitations is still not out, so there's no statute of limitations in manslaughter. Let's get some of these guys that have been that are on amnesty for maybe touching people in the 90s.
There we go.
So, in other Florida Man news, Florida Man wins a women's poker tournament, sparking debate about men in women's sports. For one, how does a Florida man get into a women's poker tournament?
Oh, excuse me. I'll just sit down right here.
Don't mind the beard. I've got a giant wig on. Yeah. So, I mean, were they not allowed to hold him out? Or, I mean, all right, let's read into it. Dave Hughes, 70-year-old man, entered a $250 no-limit Texas Hold'em event with a prize pool.
Go.
Yeah, up to $17,450. Dude made some money. Of the 83 competitors to enter the tournament, 82 of them were 4 women. The last one was Hughes. Hughes ended up defeating Diana Sabatin. I probably killed that. Batten. Or Chow Batten. I don't know. Depends on if she's Italian or not. At the end, to take home $5,555, according to the Las Vegas Review Journal. Hughes was allowed to enter the women's tournament as Florida casinos are prohibited from banning men from entering women's tournaments.
Oh, there's the loophole.
Oh. According to anti-discrimination laws, the newspaper noted that Nevada casinos have a similar rule. All right, guys, this is your chance to win a women's sport. All of you little maybe husky guys that probably couldn't win a women's sport anyways, and if you did, it wouldn't have mattered. Here's your chance.
This is it, guys.
Can you be smarter? Can you take out women in poker? Oh, the World Series Poker Ladies event has a $10,000 buy-in tournament, and women receive a 90% discount in hope of keeping men out. So they only have to put in $9,000. Oh, a 90% discount, so they only have to put in $1,000.
What?
Huh? All right. For $10,000, I'll enter. Do I get 10 spots?
Right. I better get some buy-ins.
All right. So you could actually, I mean, this is developing. This picture of this guy is amazing. It is so great. It is a man with a giant white beard. He looks like Santa. This is why they let him in it. He's Santa.
Because of Christmas magic?
Yep, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They, Ebony Kenny from the Poker Purposeful Pleasure posted that playing the women's poker tournament ladies event today, and Dave here is the only man. While we appreciate the dead money, guess the joke's on you. I really wish men would get what these events stand for. So I put a $300 bounty on his head, and Tamara and Noah matched it. Let's get him. Well, you guys lost your money. Good job.
Yep, that's circling the drain.
That was awesome.
Good job, team.
Right? Oh. Oh, so good. The trans issue is a lot easier to handle in poker as the stakes are relatively low. The difference between male and female players is negligible enough that the incentive for men to join women's spaces isn't really there. So there is a difference between women and men, though, because right here it says that the difference between women and men players is negligible. Enough. So there is some difference. Smart. Right? There is some difference.
There is some difference, apparently.
There is a difference. They are now proving there is a difference between women and men. Oh.
Well, that goes against that's counterculture. That's
counter to the counterculture.
That's that's indicating that there's only two genders.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't say, it doesn't, like, I don't even think he walked in and said, I feel like, I just feel like I'm a woman today, and just walked on in. He pretty much just put down the money, and just played some poker with some women.
That's great. That's the best story I've heard all week.
Right? Like this one, I'm not even sure who's. I guess this is the Fox News guy. It says it's a real issue that people are taking advantage of in many different areas, including sports, prisons, changing areas. This has led to some horrific repercussions. Female inmates being raped in prison, or women getting destroyed in MMA fights by someone who spent 95% of their life as a man. It does suck that it comes at the expense of women-only spaces. I wouldn't do it, even though I probably share the same criticisms. Female-only spaces in poker are really needed. Mixed poker can often be absolutely horrendous environments for women to be a part of.
It's part of the game.
Why? Like, because they can't deal with the pressure of a man, betting them up, or because there is actually some sort of like male, I mean, I don't understand. Like, it's cool if you use your sexuality, but like a man standing there, making big bets, or is he like actually saying something that should get him kicked out of an event? I mean,
Right.
if it's a sexual harassment deal, that's covered under sexual harassment policies and harassment policies. So that should be legally be able to be adjudicated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do something about that. Make it a more friendly environment. But don't be like, well, if it were a woman's only event, like if you see women fighting in MMA, women fighting is like personal. It is like, I mean, it's not like, at the end of a man's fight, if they had a good fight and there was no like major, like really, something dirty, I mean, the guy could kick the other guy on the balls and he would be like,
Right.
man, that was a great fight. Didn't see it coming when you hit me in the balls. You really crashed my junk. And they'd handshake, and they'd go have a beer at the end of it with their millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands or $25.
Yeah.
That they won in the fight.
Yeah.
But women,
I watch it all the time.
Yeah, women take it super seriously. Like, when I was in martial arts and stuff like that, it was nothing for like a woman to continue fighting after the whistle, or after they rung the bell for the round and stuff, and just take some cheap shots, and it just like, to me, like, yeah, that, that's more of, but I mean, I do understand, you fight a man or fight a person who's decided to identify as a woman, and now they're just, their muscle mass is 95% higher, or whatever percent that men have over women in muscle mass because of physiology that we normally take in high school. And he's out there just crushing some woman because he can't win in the men's game. I mean, there is 100%. We've had this conversation already. There's 100% a difference between what women can do and what men can do physically.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I 100% applaud. There are some women who can compete on the men level. And so those women, and that's why I've always said, if a woman can do what a man can do, let her compete on that stage.
Yeah.
But you've got guys out there who can't compete on that stage, and they're basically stepping down a stage. Nothing against women, but it's physiology. And they are now, He-Man in the lower levels. Well, just step down a stage. I mean, just don't try to compete at the highest level, or just hand in your man card and stop competing altogether.
All right. There you go.
I mean, do what a real man would do, and hang up the boots or the shoes or the gloves, or and walk away. Be like the rest of us. Play video games. Pretend you're
There
the
you go.
best. You know?
There you go.
Do something that makes you feel special. And
Yeah.
if that's that shouldn't be being able to beat a woman in a sport that you were not good enough to compete against your own kind in.
Right.
So just my
Yeah.
thoughts. Otherwise, Santa Claus wins the women's poker tour
That's it.
event at
That's it right there.
in Florida. Has about $900 bounties on his head that people lost because they couldn't beat him. Won himself a cool $5,555 on a $250 no limits entry. I mean,
The
it's
magic
a good
of
day.
Christmas is alive in May.
It's a good day. Good day for Santa. Good day for men and women's sports.
I love it. It's only going to get worse. You know, I mean, all these has this fluidity, you know, rears its ugly head. It's going to be getting worse and worse. I mean, you're going to see more and more stories like this. Like, oh, men aren't fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair that we let muscle people in here. I mean, I identify as the world's strongest man, but it's not real.
I really liked the one where the guy, the coach from a local school next to this woman who broke just barely broke the women's lifting record. This trans person just broke the women's lifting record, and this coach is like, he gets on Twitter or something, and he says, well, I identify as a woman, and he goes and like crushes like by 100 and some pounds the women's bench press record, which is the record that this guy just like he just lifted the bar over, like it wasn't even great, and so he like crushes it by 100 and some pounds, and then he's like, man, that felt good being a woman for that 45 minutes, so that I could break the women's record. I mean, he was making a
joke,
you know, a joke about it, or making a point, but you know, it was one of those deals where it's just like, really, man, really, you know. So I enjoyed that point made. So. Continuing on, we got I Nearly Died. Florida man attacks another man with golf club on a Lake County course, deputies say. It's probably because the guy drove up too close to him.
Was there alligators involved?
Or hit his golf ball. No, probably not. This isn't a fun one. This is just a man that said he nearly died. He's facing felony charges after he attacked another man on the golf course, Lake County golf course, Sunday afternoon. According to his arrest affidavit, 52-year-old was arrested and booked, charged on aggravated battery. Deputies were called. This is good. We're called out to Harbor Hills Golf Course in Lady Lake after receiving a report. It's almost like it was meant to be. The Lady of the Lake tossed a golf club at me, and I became king of the golf course.
Just because some moisette being lobbed a scimitar at you doesn't make you king.
I didn't vote for you.
You don't vote for king.
Yeah. The victim said he was walking with his wife on the course path of their community when the 52-year-old was golfing with his young son. Oh, this is a great. He's giving a great. He's being a good mentor to his son there. Told him he wasn't supposed to be walking on the path, saying it's intended for golf carts and is a rule of the golf course. The report stated, just heard somebody. He goes, I just heard somebody screaming and swearing at us coming up really fast behind us. The man said, after arguing, the assaulted man said he spat in his face, then hit him both with his hands and the golf club. Like, he's really going at it. He's punching him and hitting him with a golf club. I mean, that's having some skill. Continued to strike him several times as the victim defended himself with a water bottle. This is one of those, you don't bring a water bottle to a golf club fight.
Yeah, that's classic.
Just what they always say. Don't bring a water bottle to a golf club fight.
Absolutely. That's the age-old adage.
I bet, though, if this guy had brought a gun to a golf club fight, it would have been over fairly quickly.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't let 70-year-old Santa Clauses into women's poker tournaments.
He probably wouldn't have suffered broken ribs, a fractured cheekbone, stitches in his ear. Yeah, this guy really beat him up. He is probably going to end up with some jail time, but it's not going to be for another 4 to 6 years when he gets arrested. When he gets arraigned.
Right.
Yeah. I did think, though, that the cart paths were for carts. Like, yes, it was a cart, but also for pulling your golf club so you could walk on it. I mean, did he want him to walk down the fairway? Where are you supposed to walk on a golf course?
Right.
The mentality here, if he's not walking in your way, where is he supposed to walk that's also not in your way? I don't know. I mean, that's just me trying to be a not Florida man, but you know. Well, Jboots, let's see if we got one more here.
Go for it.
So, Florida man calling out bad parking with his own Park Narc Dan citations. So basically, a Florida man is whoa there. A Florida man is calling out bad parking with his own Park Narc Dan citations. So basically, he's the parking narc, and he's giving out his own citations.
Oh.
Yeah, basically he's just he's walking around. He's got nothing to do that's better than walk around and he's got a "don't be a piece of poop" emoji, and then it has little spots where you can mark off cars who are double parked and stuff.
Like a professional ticket writer.
Yeah, just he's got a little index card basically that he printed out, and it says "do better next time." Subscribe at Park Narc Dan, and don't be a pile of poop emoji. And it says parking. You can get it for parking over a line, blocking a sidewalk or driveway, taking up more than one spot, handicapped with no permit, inventing a parking spot, too close to other cars, parking on a curb / grass, parking in a reserved spot, no parking zone, blocking a bus zone, double parking, or other. It says, if you disagree, feel free to contact us at Park Narc Dan. Yeah. So I mean, dude's providing a service, and I think it's at least it's more constructive than lighting the guy's car on fire, which I
Yeah.
saw a Florida man do in one of the Florida man searches last year. That Florida man parked on a guy's bicycle, and later on, the car was pushed out of the spot and lit on fire.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Not too much of an overreaction, I don't think. I think he was fairly on force for that. I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Right. Wow.
Right. Yeah. So at least this guy's just giving you a small violation, making at least a little fun of you, and then that's about it. So I think this is at least some good old fashioned fun. Maybe I'll make some park narc chefs.
There you go.
Yeah. I'd be the parking narc. Nah. I'm too chefy for that. I just stabbed the car.
You could like break into people's kitchens as they're cooking and take over.
Take over. You are pooping up this sauce.
Yeah.
You are
somehow
making this
you
sauce terrible.
Somehow you made macaroni and cheese wrong.
Somehow you do not have cheese. What are you doing with your life? So, Jboots, did you learn anything?
I learned not to mess with not to mess with the motherland, Russia.
Right. Yeah, I guess we could say that.
I learned that the cart narcs are out in full force, and that we owe them our thanks.
That guy should be the cart narc. He beat that guy within an inch of his life.
And I learned that it pays to play poker.
Yeah, especially if you're Santa and playing against women.
So
that's right. It's good. It's good stuff. My big takeaways is Buddy Holly was a cute little dog. He was, and they did end up playing Buddy Holly at the dog show when he won. It was kind of cool. So, otherwise, if you have a big R behind your name, you are getting indicted in months, not 4 or 5 years for murder, manslaughter.
right.
Sorry, allegedly, because
Allegedly.
I do think we still, maybe in some cases, maybe in manslaughter cases, we still presume our innocence. Maybe not. It really doesn't look like it in the Trump case where he was presumed innocent. Looked more like he might have been presumed guilty, and then he got a chance to prove himself innocent. So
Yep.
yeah, well, on that amazing note, I think this is the end of the Why I'm Angry podcast. Remember to follow, like, and share the Why I'm Angry podcast across all social media platforms and anywhere you get your podcast. The Why I'm Angry podcast ends now.